Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi Ute. It's such a joy to come your way this very beautiful Monday morning. Happy new working week. And interestingly, it's the last day of the month of October. Wow, amazing. The year has gone so quickly. Thank God for the gift of life. Now, today I said I was going to be doing building a legacy in summary. Now, when I made that promise, I honestly did not understand the volume of work that we have done on this particular topic. I guess I took it for granted. But when I sat up to look at it and look at what do we have, I was like, wow, building a legacy in summary is huge. And I want to encourage everybody, please go to the YouTube channel of Knox to Nuggets. Not just because I want you to subscribe, but because I also want you to listen and refresh and check your notes again and look at the things you need to do and ensure you do it all. Because it's not so much about hearing all of this, it's about doing. Sincerely, I was amazed when I looked at what we have done. And I want to say a big thank you to every single person that's been a part of the Knox to Nuggets family. Thank you for being there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, for passing your comments. Thank you for sharing the video. I do appreciate it. I am simply because you are. I appreciate you. I love you all. And for those that watch after, I say a big thank you too. I appreciate you so much. So today, yes, let's look at it. What have we been talking about on building a legacy? Interestingly, we actually started on the 4th of July with Pastor Chris Ebadan talking about the dragnet, increasing your earning capacity. So it was with us for two editions, 4th and 11th of July. And in summary, what did we learn from him? Have the right mindset. It's critical. It's not about the economy of the world or the nation where you are in. It's about the economy of your mind. Having the right mindset is huge. And it's something everybody needs to work on. Yes, thank you, Binta. It's really huge. Sincerely, when I went through the topics, I'm like, wow, we've done this much. When I promised the summary, I thought I wanted to just talk about five, six topics, but wow, it's a lot. And Chris Abadan said to us very clearly that you have no excuse. He challenged us to have a vision board. The things you want to see yourself doing in the next 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 40 years, get a picture, cut it out, put it in front of you, keep looking at it, have a dream, and don't just dream, have a strategy. And then he asked a question: what do you have in your hand? Just sit down and say, I'm praying, God will bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. What do you have in your hand? What you have might be small, it might be little to you, but it's enough in the hands of God. So start with your little. Get ready to work and be humble. He said so much in those two episodes. Please go back and watch it. You will honestly be blessed. And then on the 18th, I came up with, let's talk about building the legacy. And I recall we looked at the seasons of life. And then we said there are basically three seasons of life: the learning season from 0 to maybe 18 or 21, whichever it is, the learning season. You are basically somebody else's responsibility. Then from the moment you start working to the time you retire, you're in your earning season. So it could be 18, it could be 21, it could be 25 to 60, 65, 70, whichever. They're your earning seasons. Then you are working, you are earning. And then the last phase of life, the spending season. I said something about the spending season of life. You never know how long it will be. We all pray for long life. Question: are you planning for long life? If God keeps you alive to 100 and you celebrate your centenary birthday, ooh, awesome. Will you be happy? That's the big question. Or will you be cap in hand begging people for food? That will not be your portion in the name of Jesus. Nobody knows how long the spending season of life will be. Some go at 30, some go at 50, some are not even opportune to even retire before they go home to be with the Lord. But some are blessed. They're 70, they retire, 80, 90, 100, and they're still waxing strong. If that will be your story, if that will be your testimony, what would you be living on? And recall the Bible says, a good man, and you are a good person, leaves an inheritance not for the children, but for the children's children, the grandchildren. So we talked about building legacy. On the 25th, we had Grant Stanley talk about apprenticeship. I know something he said about apprenticeship is key. When it described it, there's a story, an analogy he used. That is like somebody who buys a Jaguar. You would never learn with your Jaguar. You go get a rickety car, go to a driving school, learn to drive, perfect it, then you sit in your Jaguar, get on the road, and then you go. Nobody spends millions of dollars buying a Jaguar and use it to learn driving. In the same way, you don't need to use your own experience to learn the trade. Apprenticeship is coming down, humbling yourself, and learning from somebody who has gone through it all. So Grace Stanley was awesome on apprenticeship. I wrote a whole lot talking about apprenticeship. And one of the things he said is that apprenticeship benefit. He said it's a system by which an apprentice, a person, learns the skills, the trade, or business from a successful person, an expert in a chosen career, field, skill, trade, and is instructed by that person for a set period of time under set conditions. So apprenticeship takes you to humble yourself, to stoop, to conquer. And it says in apprenticeship, we actually learn the secrets because every business has secrets. They're not taught in the business school. The best business school is actually the apprenticeship school. So get into it. And it says it helps expose you to big players in the industry. You understand the language of the business. And you can see, hear, do, and start small with what you have. Yes, some people say it's informal training. Informal, no matter how educated you are, you need it. Formal and informal education, they always go together. And the scripture he used to describe apprenticeship was amusing. 1 Peter 5:8 that says, after you have suffered a while. So in apprenticeship, there are times of suffering. There are times that seemingly you feel humiliated or humbled or whatever language you want to use for it, but it's for a good cause. So don't give up, keep going, humble yourself, and understand no business is small. Then we moved on to franchising with Opeoluwa Adeyemi. Oh, that was also an amazing one. Every one of them was really amazing. And she said to us, franchising is the owner of a successful business licensing his business to another person in an exchange for a fee. And she said it's open to every and anyone. Anyone can get into franchising. But please, for you to get into it, ask yourself, what do I have passion for? If you don't have passion for cooking, don't go and get a food franchise. You don't have a franchise for sewing, don't go and get a cloth line franchise. It's not going to work. It's a passion is the fuel that keeps you going all through the journey. And then she busted her bubble that franchising is not a business in the box that requires nothing from you. Mm-mm. It's not. Franchising expects you to put in so much. It's an easier business, yes, to venture into because somebody has done all the work. They've done the R&D, they've done all the things that you think you want to learn to do. But don't be an absentee franchisee. You've got to roll up your sleeves and get to work. I said, because you are getting into a franchise, you also have leverage. So you can approach financial institutions for support because you are bringing a known name. They are open to you, they're open to helping you. People are open to receiving you because you're coming with a known name. Unlike when you are coming with totally an unknown name and people are saying, really, who is this person? So, yes, it opens that door for you. Franchise business is contractual. So you don't have to think about location, R&D, nothing. Every of those basic things has been done for you. However, she said to us, it actually limits your creativity because you cannot then think of, I want to just do this. You are going to follow it according to the books of the franchisor, the owner of the franchise. You can't paint in any color. You must go with their colors. You can't model your building anyhow. It must look like theirs. Yes, you can't even sell anything. It must be what they have permission to do. And it must taste like theirs. So yes, it limits your creativity, but it's a good way to venture into that business where you want to be a big player because you can learn the ropes. And it's not forever. You can renew, you can choose not to renew your agreement. But she said something. It's not error free, it's not challenge free. And one of the challenges is about the franchise and fee, the royalty. And before you sign those dotted lines of the contract, she says, be sure of what you're signing. Get a lawyer. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Get a lawyer. Let somebody help you look through the fine lines, comb through before you sign. And she also said something. Survey, survey, survey. What are you surveying? Survey the location that you have been assigned. Survey the franchisor. Survey the competitors. Survey the market. And says, dig out the dirt. How do you dig out the dirt? Talk to existing franchisees. Ask them their experience. They'll tell you, that location, don't go there. 5 people have been there and they have closed up. Don't go and be number 6. Oh, this franchisor, oh, they are killing us with their royalty. I actually want out. Once my contract is over, I'm out. You learn those things from existing franchisors. I know the beautiful thing, they're always willing and ready to share their story with you. So franchising gives you a head start. It builds a connect for you and gives you a leeway to do a lot of things. Is a good way to start. And she advises, please be informed. That was amazing. And then we went further on on the 8th of August, looking at financial intelligence. And there I talked about the Joseph principle, the 520s. What to do with your money. You must learn what to do with your money. It's one thing to make money, it's another thing to manage money. Another thing entirely to multiply money. Money is good. We must learn to make it, we must learn to manage it, you must learn to multiply it. And one of the key principles is in the Joseph's principle. Now go get that edition and watch it. So we moved on. Now we're looking at routes to wealth. That was where we talked about franchising, the basic routes to wealth. One of the routes is real estate. And then we had Adetoun Otepola come and talk to us on real estate. I said a whole lot. One of the things she said was, learn to start small. That's looking like a recurring decimal from everybody. Stanley said it, Chris Ebadil said it, Stanley said it, Opeoluwa said it, and then Tom again is saying the same thing. Learn to start small. Don't wait until you have that money to buy an estate. You can start by owning a shop that you give out for rent and you make income. One of the beautiful things about real estate, it helps with your cash flow. Don't wait to buy 10 acres of land and then start building. Start small. Own a shop, own a flat, Then you can think of a duplex. But know one thing, the house you own and live in is not an asset. For it to be an asset, you're not living in it. Or you're not using that shop to for your own business. You are renting it out. There's a third party that is paying you for that business. And that is what it is. We're talking about real estate. That was really so cool when she was talking about it. And she said you can make money from real estate, but something matters. I said number one is location, number two is location, number three is location. Location, location, location. It's important. Said so much about it. There are tax advantages from owning real estate. So you actually gain a lot. And it's one thing you can leave for your children's children. Real estate, it always appreciates, but please understand, location is key. And she also said, don't wait to start from your dream home. You can start from your seed home. Again, start small. Don't wait to start from your dream home. You can start for your seed home. Wow, we moved on to paper assets. Titi was on the house talking about paper assets. And I recall the questions kept coming to her. Paper assets, when stock is going crazy, is this still the way to go? And she said, yes, it's still the way to go. Again, something Tom said. Titi also said it. Everybody says the same thing. Go with a professional. If you want to get into paper assets, don't just jump into the market blindly. Oh, I've heard that there's money in stock. No. If you must put your money in it, be ready to learn. Get interested. Find out what is going on in the stock market. Educate yourself. But if you say I don't have the time, I don't have the I mean I'm too busy, then pay somebody to do it for you. There are several investment bankers out there that'll be glad to do it. So yes, you can hire somebody to do it. But paper asset is still good, and it's a good one to diversify. It helps diversify your income. So yes, you have real estate, you have rental income coming in, you can also have dividends coming in for you. And she told us that in today's world, what is paper is no longer paper, is all electronic. Even though we still call them paper assets. And she said, don't invest without knowledge. Yes, you may be a novice today, but get educated, be interested, be ready to go the extra mile. Markets are in cycles, so timing is very important. Please use a stockbroker. But she said this, and I want to actually reiterate this one. Said before investing, number one, ask yourself, what are your goals? And this cuts across all the streams of income. What are your goals? When your goal is clear, then you need knowledge. Number number three, what is your risk appetite? If you are in your 20s, you can take the gamble. But if you're in your 60s, be careful. So that asks the question, what stage of life are you in? The younger person can be more daring. It's okay. You can lose all your investment when you are 25, you will build it again. But if you lose all your investment at 65, God forbid. And remember, God forbid is not a strategy. So you have got to do the right things right. They said if you are investing, think of the corporate governance of the company you are investing into, the track record of the board, the time and the seasons, because every investment is time specific, and your own time horizon. Excuse me. And she said, if you don't have time, use a stockbroker. Then we went on to talk about understanding leverage with Bassey. And one of the things that brought us there is we said one of the routes to wealth is multi-level marketing. And I was like, that sounds like Ponzi scam. And it says, no, it's not Ponzi scheme. Multi-level marketing is actually a legal route to wealth. However, like every other route to wealth, be wise. Get educated. Ask the right questions. How do you know a Ponzi scheme from a legal scheme? Simple. Any business that's asking you for money in exchange for some promise income in the future without any good or service attached, beware. That's the truth. So if you're getting into any business venture that's saying just bring your money and in 1 month it will be doubled, when it sounds too good to be true, most likely it's too good to be true. But the multi-level marketing industry is still one of the fastest industries churning out financially independent people. But it's not a walk in the park. It rides on knowledge. Know the company you want to partner with. Find out their track record. Know the products. Because if you cannot sell the product, you're not able to go find the business. And then know yourself. Everybody kept saying the same thing: know yourself. Know yourself. We've stopped by to talk about child safeguarding. Children are also a legacy. But then by the 12th of September, we looked at the laws behind copyright because a route to wealth is copyright. Yes, so it's okay to have books, to have movies, to have music, but the question is this: will I still earn from it in today's world, or will my rights be eroded? And Inter was here with us, and Inter took time to break it down for us, talking about well, I shouldn't be coughing today, talking about copyright. And she says one thing that I will never forget in what she said is, even when you have copyrighted it, it's still your cup of tea. It's still your responsibility. The law will not help you protect your rights. You must protect your right by yourself. So when you see a copyright infringement, you can take it to court. You can sue, and you can be sued if you infringe. But you know what? You've got to protect your assets yourself. And she differentiated them for us. Trademark is different from patents and designs, and then we have the copyright. In trademark, you can own it in perpetuity as long as you live. Just, just as long as forever. Just keep renewing it. But patents and designs, they are only for inventions, and usually they are for the life of the person. Am I right? Oh, inventions are only for 20 years usually. And for those 20 years, you have a monopoly. So make all your money in those 20 years. After the 20 years, then the invention, the technology, the discovery is open to other people to also come into. So be careful. In those 20 years, maximize that monopoly. But after 20 years, that invention goes into public space. But copyright protects your literary work, and it attaches immediately. So whether you do anything or not, once it's your work, copyright attaches to it immediately. And she said something. Said for literary work, broadcast, cinematography, they run for the lifetime of the owner plus usually 70 years. So lifetime plus 70. After that, it's available to everybody. That explains why you go on social media today and you see books of people that are 18 something, 19 something, and they're there. You can listen to the entire book, you can read the entire book. Nobody's talking about copyright anymore because it's past 70 years after the person's passing on. And she says it's your responsibility to look out for infringement. And again, she also said the same thing: work with a professional. It's not expensive to get the right professionals working with you. Wow. Then we talked about domains. It's so much to talk about. And then rags to riches with Dolapo Tukuru. We had 2 seasons with him also talking about rags to riches. I know when I was listening again and again to rags to riches, it was interesting. How do you turn your recession into progression? So yes, recession happens, but must you stay in recession? The answer is no. How do you turn your recession into progression? He said something. So recession is as if when the engine of a car knocks. It never knocks overnight. It knocks over time. So don't wait until you enter a personal recession. Be vigilant. Watch your finances. The moment your outflow is way more than your inflow, be careful. You are getting into a recession. You don't want to get to the point where your entire income cannot pay the interest on your loans. That's bad business. So be careful. It never happens overnight. There are indicators. So if it's a business, we start having high staff turnover, when your income is dwindling, when your customers are not patronizing you anymore, know that something is happening in the negative, and catch yourself and begin to work on it. And he said something. He said, be hungry enough to search for knowledge, be proactive. Don't wait for things to go wrong. Always do scenario planning. So even as an individual, ask yourself, if my salary stops today, for how long can I still be afloat before I start begging? Professionals will tell you, have at least 6 months salary in a safe place. And within 6 months of losing your job, you should get something else doing. Do you have that? If you don't, what do you want to start doing today to ensure you have a good savings account? Prepare for the rainy day. The truth is this: everyone who prepares for a flood never gets flooded. You know why? In preparing for a flood, they have dug a deep drainage. So when the rains come, the water flows and they stay afloat. So scenario planning is not being pessimistic. It's like checking yourself and being a realist and putting the right things in place. Remember, hope is not a strategy. God forbid is not a strategy. So then we went to Your Dream is Valid. And we had Nnamdi J telling his story that you don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to succeed. Wherever you are, your dream is valid. If you can think it and you believe it, you can achieve it. If only you are ready to work. He shared a story with us. You need to go watch that edition again. And he came back the second week on the 17th, talk about how do you cross over from the corporate world to being an entrepreneur. Many people try to do that cross and it's tough. Usually the button just falls, but it doesn't have to fall. Really, even now as a corporate worker, yes, you have your 7 to 7 job. Think like an entrepreneur. And that brought us to that word that is getting very popular, an intrapreneur. In that office, think like the business owner. When you transit, it will help you. Oh, it said so much. I must run. And then last week, we then looked at intellectual properties itself. What exactly is intellectual properties? How can I protect it? What do I need to do? And something that came out clear is the quality of your work. So, yes, you are gifted, but talent is not enough. Hone your skills, get trained, get the right professionals to support you. There's so much to learn. I listened over and over to all of these episodes from the very first Monday in July to the very last Monday in October. An amazing journey on building legacy. I believe I've added value to you in this series. I want to encourage you, please share the word. Go to the YouTube page, go to Knox to Nuggets. Let somebody out there know that there's something called Knox to Nuggets. Like the video, share it, subscribe to that channel. I was humbled when I looked at the body of knowledge in that space. And again, I want to thank you to all of you. You made it work. If without you, I probably wouldn't have been doing it. And so next week, we are moving off building legacy. We want to start planning for our new year. And we're not joking here. The new year is here. And we want to start thinking about it. We want to start planning for it. want to start working on it because it's actually here. Don't wait for 2023 to come. Start your 2023 now. And so next week, Monday, I'm going to have in the house Reverend Charles Olasokomi Obisheson. I'm talking to us about goal setting 2023 in view. I thought I could get the clip up so that we could say it. I'll try to while I'm on. 2023 in view, goal setting. It will add value to you. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. So on the 7th of November, yes, that is it. You're going to be having goal setting 2023 in view with Charles O. Obisheson. It'll be an amazing time out with me next week, Monday. So until I come your way next week, Monday, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been on this call. Thank you to everyone who's been typing and sharing. I so much appreciate you. Thank you, Binta. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Gilbert. Everybody on the call, a big thank you. Remember, like the video, share, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets. And until I come your way next week, Monday, as we look at goal setting 2023 in view. What's 2023 like? What do you want your 2023 to be like? You can decide it. It's really your call. It's not the nation's call. It's not the global call. It's your call. You can choose what you want your 2023 to be. And like I always say, if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And so until I come your way next week, Monday, another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Remember, together we win. Thank you so much for being with me today. Have a great working week ahead and happy new month in advance. November will be a beautiful month for you in the name of Jesus. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.